Hi, I have a little bit of a confession today. I've officially quit clocking in to this full-time job that I actually created for myself. The one where I kept trying to be a more likable version of me. A version I thought you'd accept, that I'd accept, that society said I should be. And yeah, the internet too. It's exhausting. Lately, I've been realizing how much freedom comes from doing the opposite of all of that. From taking the pressure off instead of constantly trying to change who I am or what I look like. So let's get into it. I've been thinking a lot lately about how much pressure there is to look a certain way or behave a certain way in order to be accepted. It is everywhere. Social media, ads, magazines, this constant messaging that we need to fix or improve something to be beautiful or lovable. And I don't even think we notice it half the time. At least I don't. And it just quietly teaches us to be afraid of being ourselves. But the irony is that it's not quiet. It's loud and it intrudes our thoughts on a daily basis. Like, why does this have to be true at all? I mean, what would happen if we stopped listening to all of that noise and just let ourselves be ourselves? When I was younger, the messages I got at home made me question my worth pretty early on. I learned to believe that being accepted or loved or even successful meant becoming something else, prettier, smarter, having a better body. I had a brain. I was intelligent, I think. I got good grades in school. I excelled in my studies. But that was secondary. I wasn't accepted for my brain, but I also was not accepted for how I looked. Strangely, I remember feeling unseen in a world where I was judged by my looks. And this belief stuck with me much longer than I wanted. Good morning. Oh. That first sip, wow, it's everything. I love it. Like you didn't already know that. Well, today I think is going to be a pretty low-key day. I've got a few things that I'd like to do, but nothing hardcore planned. So I'm still in my PJs. I'm going to have my coffee and kind of do my morning routine and slowly ease into the day. But it's a little cloudy again today. Still gonna try to go and walk. Being on YouTube made me really aware of my body and how I looked in a way that I had not expected. When I was filming, I did notice every single angle, my double chin, my loose skin, my back fat, for goodness sakes, and all the things I usually try to hide. And you'd be surprised how much time I spent trying to edit all of that out, or standing a certain way, or sitting a certain way so you wouldn't see all of me. And actually that makes me a little bit sad to say that out loud, that I didn't want you to see all of me. Because the truth is I do want to be seen. Just not judged. We want to be seen with understanding, with acceptance, and with a sense of kindness and friendship. And we want to feel like we matter. And yet there I was, filming a video, actively trying not to be seen. And the irony of that is not lost on me. And the reason was simple. I had convinced myself that if I showed you all of me on YouTube, that I wouldn't be accepted. Go back and look at my earlier videos. For years, I barely showed my full body. Head to toe only made an appearance if the lighting was right, the angle was right, and nothing was rolling. At some point, I just got tired of it all. It was exhausting trying to manage every angle and still act like I was being natural. I was worried about how it would be received by the people already here and by the people who might find my videos later. And that's when it hit me. I was talking about being honest and transparent while quietly hiding parts of myself. And that didn't feel good, not for me and not for the kind of space I wanted this to be. So I stopped. I stopped editing myself down to what felt acceptable, and I just let myself show up as I am. My double chin, my softness, all of it. I realized I wanted to show up in a way that felt easier and more honest, and make videos for people who felt comfortable with me, showing up just as I am. Pepper is the most important thing on my cottage cheese. I just love it. So this morning is a mishmash of breakfast items. So I have boiled eggs, my cottage cheese, and some orange. It's so yummy. Since I'm going out today, I figured I'm probably gonna eat out. So I want to eat a little bit lighter this morning. Georgie's looking at me. One of my earliest memories of how we were conditioned to be or do a certain thing was growing up in Texas in the 80s when big hair was everything. And then there was me with my fine, stick straight hair, living in a decade that was absolutely not designed for that. I mean, big hair was so serious back then, we literally had an entire genre of music called hair bands, where even the men had bigger hair than I could manage on my best day. Do you remember the rooster bangs and the perms and the body waves? I had it all, with lots of help from body wave perms, plumping moves. I'd curl my hair, spray it down with hairspray, tease it with a comb, spray it some more, tease some more, flip my head upside down and spray my hair all over again. And sometimes, if everything went right, I'd have big hair for a small portion of the day. I remember in my late 20s thinking, I can't do this anymore. This is not sustainable. And I finally accepted that my hair is fine and it is straight. And I stopped trying to make it do things it just was not interested in doing. I don't talk about this often, but after my last big relationship ended in my early 40s with my fiance, I gave him the engagement ring back and I promptly bought myself this ring, not as a statement, just as a quiet reminder that I don't want to settle and I don't need to change myself to fit into your mold, that I'd rather be alone than with someone who isn't right for me. I actually have a few items that I can take with me today to the thrift store. Give a few items away that are too big for me now. And over time, that's turned into something else. I've gotten really comfortable dating myself and taking myself out to dinner and going on walks and making small decisions without checking with anyone first, which turns out to be quite efficient. And I still want a relationship someday, just one where we add to each other's lives, not fill something in or complete anything that's missing. And this ring feels like a promise to myself, choosing myself and letting that be enough. As you guys know, I have been on this health journey and trying to figure out what's going to help support me during the season of my life of menopause, especially with strength and muscle growth and also my mental fatigue I was having, being really tired all the time, and focus. So this last time when I went to my doctor, he actually suggested that I start taking creatine. It's going to help me with my weight loss to not only keep the muscle that I have, but also promote its growth. So he suggested that I take 5 grams of creatine a day. So I've partnered with Momentous, who created these lovely creatine chews where I can get my 5 grams of creatine every single day. Creatine supports strength, recovery, and growth, which matters a lot when you're lifting and trying not to lose muscle as you lose weight. But it also supports brain function, which I was really needing a lot more these days with my mental fatigue and focus. What really stood out to me was the quality and convenience of these little chews. It has 1 gram of creatine in each chew, no artificial flavors, sweeteners, or colors. That is super important when you're taking something like this every single day and you're really watching what you put into your body. I take 5 of these a day, 1 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and 1 before my workout and 1 after my workout. Super, super easy and convenient, and a cute little chew that you can throw in your gym bag, throw in your purse, throw in your pocket, whatever is convenient to you. Every batch is third-party tested and certified. They also have a couple of new flavors, strawberry and mango, which I'm super excited about. I can't wait to taste them. And of course, the lemon lime flavor, which is what I have here. So if you're looking for support for healthy aging, maybe some mental clarity, then these chews are a game changer. So make sure you click that link in my description box or scan this QR code right here and use my code Baldwin at checkout to get up to 35% off of your first order of Momentous Creatine Chews. And again, thank you Momentous for sponsoring this video today. Yeah, well, I'm at my first thrift shop. Shout out to everyone who told me about this place. It's called Retail's Thrift Store. And apparently one of the really cool things is that
it actually supports Humane Society, which, you know, I love. So I brought a few of my things with me, so hopefully they'll accept them. I'm sure they will. And then I'm on the scout for some artware, some like cool, kind of unique posters, paintings, just, I don't know, something kind of eclectic.
When I started my YouTube channel, I was 46, which felt very, very old in internet years. I distinctly remember wondering who was even going to watch me, especially once I moved into the van life travel content, where it felt like everyone was much younger than me. I knew I could figure things out though. I mean, I've always been good at that, but I still caught myself looking to younger creators trying to borrow their energy or style as I was trying to figure out my own. Eventually, I realized something important. My audience, at least not all of them, were in their 20s. Once that clicked, I stopped chasing a version of myself that didn't really fit me anymore. That fear even showed up in how I looked. I've grown my gray out 3 times now. And the first 2 times, I talked myself right out of it. I kept thinking I needed to look younger to stay relevant. Looking back, I wish I had trusted myself sooner because I was already enough exactly as I was. I've always been a pretty confident person in a lot of ways, especially when it comes to my career in the corporate world and trusting myself to figure things out. That's just always been a part of me, and I always felt solid with that. But there are still things that come up sometimes, like old wounds that I thought I'd worked through or at least made peace with. I know that I'm not perfect and I still struggle in certain areas, even now. I think what I'm realizing is that being such an independent, confident, or courageous, which are things, by the way, that people have said about me, doesn't mean that I don't struggle. It just means I keep going anyway. I don't really think growth ever stops. No matter how old we are or how much life we've lived, there are always moments that show us we still have a little bit more to learn, a little more to soften, and a little bit more to heal. And sometimes the very thing you've thought you've already worked through, it shows up again. Not to punish you or to send you backwards, but almost like a gentle tap on the shoulder, reminding you there's just a little bit more growing to do there. The other day, I heard this quote from Brené Brown on how authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. And wow, that is such a powerful statement. I mean, think of the layers upon layers of conditioning we've received to be a certain way in this world. It's about choosing again and again to let go of who I thought I was supposed to be and to show up as who I actually am. For me, that's meant loosening my grip on perfection, on trying to fit a version of myself that never fully felt true. It's uncomfortable at times, but it's also grounding because my choices finally feel aligned with what I value, not what I think will be accepted. And I'm realizing that living outside of my own truth slowly drained my energy and joy, while choosing honesty, even quietly, has brought a sense of freedom I didn't expect. I think my gray hair was actually a clue as well to losing my grip on perfection. Every time I grew it out, I liked it, and every time I talked myself out of it. Not because I didn't like how it looked, but because of what I thought it might signal. Getting older, not being as relevant. Are you seeing the theme here? Relevant. And around that time, I started paying closer attention to who was actually watching my videos because I can't visually see you all, so I had to look a little bit deeper into the YouTube analytic reports. And that's when it finally clicked with me. I wasn't talking to a younger version of myself. I was talking to people in a similar season of life. And once I saw that clearly, it stopped making sense to keep borrowing someone else's energy or their pace from this younger YouTube generation. I didn't need to sound younger or look younger to connect with you all. That was the part I needed to unlearn. I just needed to sound like myself and look like myself. The unlearning part for me around my body and how I let it exist on camera took a little bit of time. At first, it felt uncomfortable, like not wearing makeup in the morning and letting my red rosacea prone skin to show, or letting my body exist on camera without trying to manage it. I noticed how strong these old instincts still were, the urge to correct or to hide or to soften things before anyone else could see them. They didn't disappear overnight. I stopped wearing foundation in the morning and let the rosacea show on my skin. I finally gave up at brushing my hair constantly before I filmed every scene because it gets stringy almost immediately, so I'm done fighting with that. I let the softness be there, rolls and all. I stopped waiting for a different version of my body before I showed up fully. I've spent so many years believing happiness was on the other side of changing my body that I'd finally feel settled once I was thinner. So learning to let myself exist here as I am now felt a little bit unfamiliar, but also grounding. I wasn't fixing anything. I was just learning how to stop fighting with myself.
I feel guilty for leaving Georgie at home, so I'm gonna bribe her with treats. She actually really loves these. I'll get this one. Okay. I found another thrift store that's about 4 blocks away from where I was just having lunch. So I'm gonna head over there, see if I can find anything good. It looks kind of cute. I think it's like a little vintage thrift store.
I don't necessarily think anything is wrong with me, but I think that I've just been trying too hard to fit in for too many years of my life.
Well, darn it, I have struck out again. 3 shops, 1 find, so I guess that's good, right? I found 1 thing. I think I'm done for today.
Hello. Hi, baby. Hello, what are you doing? Hi. Hi. Oh, there she goes.
So I've been learning what alignment actually feels like for me. It looks like choosing what I like without explaining it, or letting things be simple instead of overworking them, trusting my own taste without checking it against someone else's. And a big part of that unlearning has been honestly getting out of my own way, realizing I don't need to become anything else to be ready. I already have what I need. I'm capable, I'm thoughtful, I'm brave enough to show up as myself, and letting that be enough. That's been a quiet kind of freedom for me.
Let's go. You ready, Rosai? Ready? You ready? You ready?
I'd say she's ready. Feels good outside. It's not too chilly actually. In fact, I had to ditch the coat earlier because I felt warm. But sun's trying to peek out a little bit. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Oh, I love you too. I love you. You're so good girl. You're so good girl. You're so good. Do you want a treat? Oh, do you want a treat? Oh, I got something for Georgie. Oh, look. I brought you something home. What's this? What is it? You ready? Shake. Shake. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Ready? Shake. Good girl. All right, I started on the next color. You can see it's a very, very small amount. Yeah, I think it's looking so good. I love this color. This is the new one. So this is my sock, by the way. I don't think I said that. So it's the basic sock from Summerlee's book. I know several people have asked me if I started on it. So it has a little cuff, which for me is that purple lavender color. And then the body of it here will be this color. So I love it. It's coming along. I'm learning a lot as I do it. I've had such a nice, relaxing time. It's dark outside and I'm guessing it's like 6 o'clock. It's past Georgie's dinner time. Mom is late, an hour past her dinner time. So I know it's a hard life being Georgie. It really is. It's not. You good. All right. I am gonna make my dinner too. I've got leftovers. Cashew chicken with also some tofu for extra protein and a little bit of rice. This is so yummy. I love this Thai food place and I love this yummy tofu that they put in here. Oh, I'm really hot.
When I finally let go of all of that pressure to look a certain way or show up in a certain way, I felt it in my body first. I could breathe easier, my anxiety softened, and there was this quiet sense of freedom that came from not caring in the same way anymore. And what surprised me the most was realizing that the people who had found me on YouTube and stayed were the ones who cared more about my mind than my body. People who connected with my creativity, my thoughts, and my stories, and the way that I see the world, not what I looked like on camera. And just to be very clear, because I know this matters, this is not a reflection of you, my YouTube community. You've been incredibly supportive and loving and kind. You've told me I'm beautiful and that you love my skin and my hair and my voice and my videos and my stories, all of it. Most of the comments are thoughtful and encouraging, and yes, every once in a while there's a harsh or judgy one, the kind I used to be afraid of. But honestly, we don't keep those comments anymore. We just quietly escort them out. But even with all of that love, I still had something inside of me I was wrestling with. I still had to do my own work around letting go, around allowing myself to be fully seen and choosing freedom anyway. Through all of my self-realization and unlearning, I don't feel like I became someone new. It feels more like I stopped fighting myself and started accepting who I am without all the outside noise. I'm choosing alignment over approval now. I don't rush myself to keep up with something that doesn't fit my life. I move at a pace that actually feels sustainable for me and make videos the way that I want to live, this quieter, slower, more honest and true to my spirit.
I think it turned out really well. Really well. I know it looks a little probably silly to be like the only piece of artwork right here, and it's tiny compared to the entire couch, but it's a start. And also this picture frame is made to like sit on a desk or cabinet or something. So I'm gonna have to get some picture hangers to nail into the wood and take that piece off. I just love it.
And I work with myself instead of against myself. I pay attention to what feels right instead of what looks right from the outside. And that shift has changed everything without actually changing much at all. I didn't become someone new. I just finally noticed who I'd been all along. And life feels a little bit quieter now. And that feels like progress to me. I'm learning how to be on my own side and everything feels lighter. I just get to be here, free and letting go of who I thought I had to be. And that feels like enough.